Welcome. This is Cheating Tale Stories. Tell me where you are watching from. Let's dive into the topic of today. It all started with a feeling. Amina had been with David for 3 years, and for most of that time, she trusted him completely. They lived together in a modest 2-bedroom apartment, split bills, planned trips, and even talked about marriage. But lately, something had shifted. He came home later than usual, phone always face down, clothes smelling faintly of perfume that wasn't hers. She told herself it was work. He had just been promoted, after all. But in the pit of her stomach, suspicion grew like a weed. One evening, while scrolling through the motion alerts from her door camera, Amina noticed something strange. At exactly 1:14 a.m., David came home, not alone. A woman escorted him to the porch, hugged him tightly, and whispered something. The camera caught it faintly. "Text me when you're upstairs." Amina's heart stopped. She didn't confront him right away. Instead, she planned. She saved the clips, screenshotted his working late texts, and waited. If she was going to confront him, she wanted it on record. The following Saturday, Amina invited David to sit down in the living room. She placed her phone recording on the table. Calm, steady, no screaming, just control. "David," she began, "I want to ask you something. Who was the woman who brought you home Tuesday night?" He blinked, taken off guard. "What?" "No one. I was working late." "Maybe you saw wrong." Without a word, Amina tapped her screen. The porch footage played, the hug, the whisper, the way he lingered before going inside. David froze. Then the excuses came in waves. "That's my colleague, just a friend. She wanted to make sure I got home safe." "Why are you spying on me with cameras?" "That's creepy." Amina stayed quiet, letting him twist. When he finally muttered, "Okay, fine, we had drinks, but it's nothing serious," she pressed again. "Then call her right now. Put it on speaker." His silence said more than words. But betrayal doesn't just show up at the door, it leaves traces everywhere. Amina knew this, and her suspicion didn't stop at the porch. She had noticed a second charging cable in their bedroom drawer. Curious, she followed it to a small box tucked beneath old clothes. Inside, she found an extra phone. No password, just a backup filled with messages. The texts were endless. One name appeared over and over, Coach T. Messages that said, "Last night was perfect. Leave the gate open. Same time next week." Her blood boiled. It wasn't just suspicion anymore, it was proof. That night, she confronted him again, this time with the second phone in hand. "Who is Coach T?" she asked. David stammered. "That's just my trainer. We were working on fitness routines." Amina scrolled through and read aloud. "Can't wait to taste you again." Silence, then came the classic flip. "You're too controlling." "This is why I can't talk to you." Amina had seen this before, the liar trying to make the confrontation the problem, not the betrayal itself. She didn't argue. She just pressed save on every message, backed it up, and tucked the phone away. The final straw came a week later. David, who dabbled in YouTube content, claimed the entire Coach T situation was just a prank content for views. He insisted the secret messages, the hotel bookings, the late nights, they were all part of a cheating skit he was planning to upload. Amina stared at him in disbelief. "So you bought roses for another woman, booked hotel rooms, and risked our relationship? For content?" "Yes," he said confidently. "It's just engagement. You know how the algorithm works." But Amina knew lies when she heard them. The bookings weren't props. They were reality. And she wasn't going to be another victim in his content strategy. So she decided to flip the script, quietly. She gathered every piece of evidence, doorcam clips, second phone messages, hotel receipts. She spoke to their landlord and arranged for the lease to be put solely in her name. She moved his belongings into the guest room and prepared paperwork, 1 month to move out. But she didn't stop there. David had proposed months earlier with a sparkling diamond ring. He claimed it was an heirloom from his grandmother, priceless and sentimental. After the betrayal, Amina took the ring to a jeweler, only to discover it was lab-grown, worth a fraction of what he had said. Another lie stacked on the pile. She sold it, with the money. She did 3 things: paid off the last of their rent, funded a surprise weekend for her mother and sisters, and most importantly, planned a gathering. On a Friday evening, Close friends and family gathered in a small rented hall. Balloons, soft lights, and a projector filled the space. David showed up too, invited under the pretense of a reconciliation dinner. When everyone was seated, Amina stood at the front. On the projector behind her, the first slide appeared. "Thank you for teaching me what love isn't." Gasps rippled through the room. She clicked to the next slide, doorcam footage of him with the woman on the porch. Then the second phone messages. Then the hotel booking confirmations. One by one, the truth filled the screen while David shrank in his chair. Finally, Amina pulled out a velvet ring box. David looked hopeful for a split second until she opened it. Inside wasn't a ring, but a car key fob. "David," she said calmly, "you lied to me with this ring. You lied with your phone, your time, your promises. So I decided to turn those lies into something useful." She turned to a woman standing at the side of the room. It was the ride-share driver, the same one who had escorted David to the porch. "This car has been used to sneak around the city for months. Tonight, I'm giving it to someone honest, someone who kept their boundaries, even when temptation was right there." She handed the key fob to the driver. "It's yours now. The payments are cleared. Drive it well." The room erupted, half in shock, half in applause. David jumped up. "You can't do this." "That's our car." Amina held up the paperwork. "Correction. It was ours. Now it's mine, and I chose to give it away." The lender approved the transfer. "You, David, can take the bus." She handed him a folded card. Inside, a single line. "Pay people back with what they need, not what they want." The confrontation ended not with screams or broken dishes, but with silence, a silence heavier than any shouting match. David walked out, humiliated, with nothing but a backpack. Amina stayed, surrounded by friends and family who cheered not just for her courage, but for her grace. Her payback wasn't messy. It wasn't violent. It was calculated, poetic, and irreversible. And that's what people never show you in viral cheating clips. The quiet. Power after the camera stops. The paperwork signed, the locks changed, the lies turned into lessons. Is there real truth about cheating confrontations caught on camera? Yes. There are denials, deflections, excuses, and sometimes tears. But the biggest twist isn't in the argument. It's in the aftermath. Because betrayal doesn't just end a relationship. It rewrites it. And if you're smart, like Amina, you can turn the story upside down and make sure the last word is yours. If this story shocked you, hit that like button so it travels. Comment with the craziest confrontation line you've ever heard. And subscribe for more real stories with real lessons. Remember, betrayal hurts, but payback done right lasts forever.